was about hiking to watch a sunrise and how you have to start in the dark and sometimes you can't see the path. But when you get to the top, you have this incredible view. And I was like, that is a great analogy that I'm going to share on the podcast today. Because, you're blindingly walking up this mountain with just a little flashlight in the dark. And then at the top, you have the whole view of everything and the sunrise. And so we're in the stumbling up the path in the dark phase right now.
Yeah.
But we're headed towards somewhere we're supposed to head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just what is that next step? Welcome back to podcast number 5 with Emily Shoup. Once again with the wonderful host, Matt Shoup, where we talk about marriage, business, our Spain trip, and taking a podcast international. Check it out.
Are you a faith-based father and looking for intentional ways to connect with your son in a big way? If so, you have to check out the Father-Son Hike of a Lifetime on the Camino de Santiago in Spain. June 2025, I am taking a group of faith-based fathers and their sons over to Spain for 9 days and the adventure of a lifetime. Go check it out at mattshoup.com/Spain. On that page, you'll actually see all of my upcoming Spain adventures, but make sure to check out the Father-Son Hike of a Lifetime. Emily Shoup.
Matt Shoup.
Welcome back again.
Thank you. Time number 5.
This is.
Yes.
You're my favorite guest. I think you're my favorite guest ever.
Thanks. You're my favorite podcast host.
Sweet. Good to know. We just had quite an adventure.
We did.
Let's talk about it.
It was awesome. Do you want to start? You go ahead.
Well, it was your first time back to Spain in like the last decade.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Yeah. It was great. It was really, really fun. We went out for a wedding of one of your friends who is now also my friend.
Yes.
In Seville.
You say Seville.
Well, for our American guests or listeners, it's Seville. In Sevilla. And we had a lot of fun.
That was a good time. What did you think of the Spanish style wedding? So it's very formal Spanish
it's very
Catholic
formal.
wedding.
Yeah. Everybody's very dressed up. But it was beautiful. It was great.
Yeah.
I liked it.
What did you think of the priest?
He was social.
He was a very social priest.
Very social.
He was a very social priest.
Yeah. It was great.
That was cool. So it was a Tuesday afternoon, which is not very typical, but the bride and groom met.
On April Fool's Day.
They met on April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
So that's what they wanted to stick to, was the day that they met. And then we went out to the golf course and had a
great reception.
Had a party.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
We didn't realize how much we needed that break. Talk a little bit about that. We've been grinding pretty hard. We've been going pretty hard, pretty fast, long days, lots going on in business and family and life for a good 4 months. It seems nonstop.
Yeah. Ever since pretty much the beginning of December, we've been burning that candle at both ends.
Yeah.
So even though this wasn't necessarily the ideal time to take a vacation, business-wise, it's when it was set. That's when we were going, and we did it, and it was great. We needed that. It was supposed to be a kind of a working vacation, and I'm glad that we didn't. We really needed the break.
I do that sometimes. I'll do the working vacation. That's not a vacation. You're just working somewhere else. But I just said I'm not. I said I'll be here when I get back. It'll all be here when I get back. So no, it was a good time.
Which I was proud of you for.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
Just shutting it off, and it was good. We slept long hours. We did a lot of walking and talking.
Yeah.
And that was about it. It wasn't like events or anything besides the wedding and the podcast.
And that was an absolute task.
It was.
Thing to do.
But it went well.
Talk about that. That was crazy. So we unpacked this whole thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot here.
There's a lot here. And, a lot that people watching don't see as far as equipment goes. And we packed the whole shebang up and took it international.
It was a 70-pound suitcase in one of the suitcases. And then we had one of those Pelican cases for all the cameras and switchboards and computers. And then we packed the monitor because we weren't sure if that monitor, if you could plug into another monitor. So that was in our like with our luggage with like sweaters and clothes wrapped around it.
Yep.
And then we were talking offline, we were pounding that suitcase down the cobblestone streets, getting it from the hotel to Angel's shop.
Yeah.
And that was a cool interview though.
That was a great interview.
Yeah.
And we were able to correctly set up, well, me mainly, right?
No, yeah.
I mean, you helped me
I don't know what I'm
a little
doing.
bit,
I just show up and talk.
I was able to correctly set up the entire podcast studio, which I'd never done before from scratch in Spain. Now, the angles and everything we had to work with it's not a studio. It's an art gallery, basically.
Yeah, it was a long, skinny art shop, and then we set up right in the back of the shop, and like right in front of some really cool pieces that they've had beautiful pieces of art. Yeah, yeah. Then we had 4 people around the table.
Yeah, it was really neat. Yeah, and it was cool. This stuff destroyed our inside of our suitcase.
Well, these are pretty beat up. Yeah, these things got a whooping.
But we got it all there. We got it all back, and nothing broke. Nothing got damaged besides little nicks that don't even matter.
Have we checked, Joey? We didn't check yet to see that it actually recorded to the hard drive, did we?
Yeah, we'll see if we have a podcast to air, I guess.
Oh, that'd be something, huh?
That would be horrible.
That would suck.
If it airs, it'll be the one that airs before this one, so you'll be able to
see
it. And you'll know already if it worked.
I'll let y'all know when I bring it home.
There we go.
I mean, was the red light on recording?
It was on.
I mean,
and that's all you need, right?
It's on there.
I pushed the red record button, so hopefully everything worked.
How cool was that for you? Because I mean, we know the Fuentes family, right? They're fifth generation ceramics family. Yeah. So you've got Angel, who we originally met. He's the 3rd generation. His son, Angel, whose wedding we went to, he's 4th. And then Angel's sister Juana's kids, they're the 5th.
Yeah.
Right? Little Torete and Pepa.
Yeah. Who
danced a bunch with me at the wedding.
Yes.
Tio Mateo says hi, Pepa. That was fun to dance with you. That was really cool. That was really fun. I was either dancing with her or some drunk Spanish guy wanted to fight me. Because he found out I did jujitsu.
He didn't really want to fight you, though.
Jokingly at the beginning, but I was wondering. But he kept coming up to me and he's like, "You want to fight?" I'm like, "Stop."
I don't know if you remembered how many times he told that to you, though, because he was very drunk.
Well, I remember. He was drunk. It was a lot of times.
It was a lot of times.
But that was really fun. But like we sat there literally with matriarch, right, of the family, Juana, 2nd generation, her son, Angel, 3rd generation, his son, her grandson, Angel, in the shop. Yeah. And just talked about their story. Yeah. You learned a lot about ceramics.
Very cool. Yeah.
How was that just on the production side? Getting to like watch that and see that and that story that our family has with their family and just hearing how they've been established over there.
Oh, it was great. I loved being on the production side of things and problem solving, as people will see if they watch the other podcast, on the fly without having any knowledge really of how to do any of that. That was cool.
Welcome to filmmaking.
Thank you, Joey.
Well, when we called you, Joey, you were like, "Oh man, I'm gonna be on the phone with these guys for like an hour, helping them set this and plug that," and it's pretty set.
It was like 2 or 3 little camera settings, and that was it. Everything else was plugged in properly, and it looked great.
Yes. Awesome.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Would we do that again? Do you think we'd bring it over there? I'm on the fence.
I don't know. It was a lot because we took up, the little carry-on Pelican suitcase and then a whole giant suitcase and a half. So it was a lot of extra luggage.
Yeah,
tons. Time. A lot of time. So I don't know if we'd do it again. We had said no. After the trip, we said no.
We'll see when the opportunity arises next.
Yeah.
You found a lot of gluten-free stuff in Spain. Anybody traveling?
Well, you found me a lot of gluten-free stuff, so thank you.
You were pumped about that. I was
surprised.
Yeah.
Because they, Italy's phenomenal with gluten-free stuff. They're very really, really good about that. Spain has not been as far as what you had noticed, but they did a good job this time. And there are some gluten-free pastry shops and bakeries and stuff. And it was really, really fun. You had the best costrata you've ever had in your life.
It was better. The gluten-free was better
gluten-free
than the place I really love in Athalong. Yeah.
Yes, which is awesome. It was so good. And then we tried to get a second piece and it was closed and we were sad.
Yeah. And then you found croquetas in Madrid. Those were pretty bomb. Those were pretty good.
That was really cool. That was a lot of fun. We ate well. We did not go hungry on that trip.
No, we just like walked around. One day, I think I posted a video. I was like, I'm just walking around eating all day. We just walk and sit and eat. Then we found it really.
Like I might have a little more cheeks this time than last time.
Extra cheeks.
Yeah.
Love it.
Little.
Well, gosh, we're back. Like back at it. Kids held the fort down. They did a really good job.
Yeah. They did phenomenal.
Were you surprised by that?
No.
No?
Not really. We have great kids. I'm not surprised that they did well. Yeah, people were very surprised that we left them here. I mean, we had friends and family close by to check on them if they needed anything at all, but they did great. Yeah, I'm super proud of them.
I love it.
I'm not surprised at all.
Riley put Haley to work, I think, a lot.
I think so too, but she handled it really well. And to his credit, he was going to work and doing stuff. So, you know.
You're like, I'm going to work, clean up the whole house while I'm gone.
Yeah, pretty much. Which we'll talk about for next time. But it worked out. They weren't mad at each other. I think they've gotten a little bit closer. They've been joking around a lot and hanging out. So
yeah, it's good
like
bonding
that
time
a lot.
for them.
Yeah.
So that everybody there told you need to come back more because you weren't there since the summer we lived there, right?
Yeah.
Which was 2016.
Yeah.
You gonna come back more? What do you think?
Yes,
Yeah.
I will. I think told you this. I think I needed a break from Spain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And doesn't that sound spoiled and stupid? But we would go so often and then not go other places. And so I just needed a break from going, and I needed to be able to go on vacation other places. And then, but it was wonderful. It was wonderful to be back. I loved it. I loved every second of it, really, truly, except for getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. That
was crazy.
I did not love, but other than that.
Yeah, we did horseback riding in the Doñana National Park, and Spain had just had a month of rain.
Yeah.
Lot of rain. Yeah. Like torrential flooding rain all over the country nonstop. So the mosquitoes were out. These things were nasty. And I got not one bite.
You maybe got one on your back.
Did I?
Mosquitoes
ate you. You still got them.
Me.
Are they healing up?
They're going away.
You should kick one of those ankles. You should kick one of those ankles up right here on the.
Post a photo.
We'll get a photo.
My ankles look a lot better. Yeah, I got. Historically, though, I always get eaten by mosquitoes. They love my Colorado blood. It's rich in oxygen because it has to be because we're up high. So it holds on to more oxygen. That's what I've been told anyway. I don't know if that's true. But
they liked you, though.
They loved me. I was a big snack for them. So full-on meal.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It was a good trip. It was a great trip.
It was.
We really, really needed it.
We did.
Yeah.
And you spoiled us with a very nice hotel that has the best bed I've ever slept in.
It's cozy.
We slept really well there. That was just nice. I've
been in that last 4-month season of like up at 4 a.m. every day, grinding long days. Mm-hmm. So it was good to rest.
It was.
It was really good.
That was one of my favorite parts about the trip. When people ask me, what was the best part? I honestly say it was that Matt got sleep and a bunch of sleep. Like that was really, that's really important to me. And that was one of the best things. And like you didn't sleep in the day or anything like that, like nap or anything. You just slept for hours at night, like sometimes 10 hours, which was, I was so happy.
That was good.
So happy about that.
Yeah.
How many hours do you normally get?
Normally?
Like 6. 5 or 6.
No, 6 to 7.
Maybe.
It depends. I'm in like seasons. So I'd
Yeah.
say that this last season, if I could get 7, that would be good. But it's probably 5.5 to 6.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I go to bed at like 9:30, maybe 10, get up at 4.
Yeah. It's not horrible the amount of sleep you get right now, but just running since beginning of December and then going off of 5 to 6 hours of sleep every night. It was good. That made me so happy. That's not a joke at all. Like having you sleep. That was awesome.
Do you need a new roof or new paint job on your home or business and live in Northern Colorado? If so, check out one of our sponsors, M&E Painting and Roofing. We've been around for 20 years here in the community, and full disclosure, I am the M in M&E. Check them out at mandepainting.com. Are you a business owner who is struggling to understand and navigate the world of digital media? If so, check out one of our sponsors, Imprint Digital. They are the go-to source for everything digital related to your business. Not only are they a sponsor, but they also take care of all of our company's website. They produce this podcast, and I highly recommend them. Check them out at imprint-digital.com. So we're jumping back into like craziness of the business. Talk through. We were just talking about this morning. Just last 4 months have been, I say, some of the wildest times we've seen in the businesses since we've had them.
100%.
Yeah. What's going on? What's up with all that?
That's a great question.
Yeah. No, I think it's brought up some conversations, right?
Yeah.
Like shooting straight, shooting real with people tuning in. Like, we always come on here and share life and share what we're doing, and everything always seems really good. It's been shitty. It's been a shitty 4 months.
Really hard.
Yeah. It's been just a lot of bullshit going on. Like,
It is.
some people have surprised us. Some people haven't surprised us.
Yeah.
Lots of unexpected things. We're pulled back into things we don't want to be doing. And it was all right around the time that we're like, hey, we're leaning into our faith and what this means in business and what this means in our marriage. Yeah. And then everybody tells you that, well, things are going to get challenging. We're like, all right, cool. And then they do. So like, how have we navigated through that? This suck.
I think there have been different stages of navigating through all of that. There've been a lot of tears on my part, probably not as many yours, but that's not a surprise if anybody's watched our other podcasts.
Because you cry. But that's cool.
There's been lots of big emotions and feelings around all of it, I would say. And it just changes depending on what it is. There's been some anxiety.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. But when I tell people about this time period, I always say like, it's really hard, but it's also good. Like where everything is going and what we're doing is so good that even the really difficult stuff has been moving towards that good thing. And so it's a whole mixed bag of emotions.
That's the good perspective to keep and to have when you're in the stuff that's not good.
And it's hard to keep it. It's hard to keep your focus on that. But
how do you do that?
I don't always do it perfectly.
Totally. No, I don't either. What are some ways that you,
God, no, seriously. Like, I know that's probably a token answer for some people, but for me, it's not. Like, legit, I don't know that. I don't think I would be able to get through everything, at least not well, without him. So,
is that just like continued prayer focus? Like, what specifically for you?
Yeah, trying to, like, working hard. I shouldn't say trying to. Keeping my eyes on him, on staying the course that he is laying out as we figure out those next steps on, keeping in my Bible, keeping praying, listening to worship music, stuff like that. Yeah, because when you take your eyes off, that's when all the suck super overwhelms and
Yeah.
the anxiety sets in. And
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But what we didn't touch on, that we talked about in our last podcast was I had stepped completely out of the business.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm back. So,
but this is a cool full circle story though.
Yes.
On how it happened and why it happened. I like it.
Yes, it is.
Do share.
Should I?
What is happening?
I know. So
But I love it.
when I left, the business was Matt Shoup as a brand. That, for those of you who don't know, that brand included, the podcast and the books he writes and just everything basically that he does. And so it made sense for me to step out and let somebody else take over what I was doing with that, that we had built together and figured out. And pretty much immediately after I transitioned out, the business changed. It went from, the Matt Shoup brand focus to our new company name and umbrella, which is, I'll let you share about that.
The Pour Into People company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which right now has a focus mainly on men and men's ministry type of faith-based men,
business owners, business leaders, and their families, right?
Yes.
So events, experiences and resources for men, but then for couples, and then for families.
Yeah. And eventually,
right now.
Yes. The goal is to broaden that to a bunch of other fun things that we'll talk about maybe in the future.
Oh, you want to wait to talk about them?
Oh, well, like women, and just other things. Like we have a whole list of things.
There's a big vision. Yeah, it's a big vision for it.
It's a big vision and it's a big calling. And full on stepping into that. And since it opened up to a broader spectrum under the new business and name, it just made sense for me to step back in.
So what? But why did you decide that? Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just a number of things. We talked a little bit about on our last podcast, how God's calling in my life is to help women. And even though we're not focusing on that right now, I was starting to get a lot of questions from women at various events that we were doing. Like, when are you going to start something for women? When are we going to see you do this and whatever? And although I still don't know where God is leading that direction, because we have several great women in our company that are working who also have a heart for women. So we will see where this goes, and it's really exciting.
We have the most women here that we've had ever in the company.
Yeah, which is great, and they're all great. So we will see. I'm excited to see where God branches this company. But it made me, question and dig into and search out where he is calling me with that. And even though I still don't have a, here is the exact path, it just made sense to step back into the company and at least at this point start working with everybody and getting to know everybody really well on a certain level. And then we will see where it goes in the future.
I love it. So
it's exciting.
Talk more about your journey of discovering just your heart for women and passion for women and what that's looked like. And even though you don't know what it fully looks like, just talk more about that.
That's putting me on the spot. I don't know. I think it's always just been something that's come naturally where I dig in really deeply immediately with women. And I think I had touched a little bit on the last podcast how I don't know how else to say it, so I'll just say it. Like, God draws certain women to me. And I love that. And I love being a part of that, even if it's just loving on them for 5 minutes in a restaurant, because like you'll even notice.
Yeah.
Like, I will have a random person come up to me and just spill their guts that I have never met, never seen. And that's not anything I'm doing. That's not, it can only be God drawn to whatever he's put in me that they see. And that's cool. And it's hard to explain to people. And it sounds, I don't know what the word is, like, ooh, like ooh, but
What's that? What's the word for
what's the word for ooh?
Je ne sais quoi.
Sure.
I think.
Sure.
I think.
Like wooey. I don't
Does it sound wooey, Joey? Does it sound wooey? You can riff on Ems, man. You've been here hanging out with her a whole bunch, man.
Yeah,
you see it.
She has a quality to her that is kind of welcoming and warm, and I feel like she's not judging me, and I feel like she is just accepting and open-minded, and I think that's probably what draws people to her as well.
Aw, thanks, Joey.
Do you feel like, did you
Legit not judging people.
What's that?
I'm legit not judging people when they come to me, though. So
Totally.
or meet them or anything like that. So, yeah. So thanks for noticing that, Joey. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just something I started picking up on. You pointed it out to me. I never thought anything of it really, because that had just been something that happened always
Yeah.
for me. So I didn't notice that it was different or anything. And I think you had pointed it out to me, and then I started paying attention and noticing. And then when I went through my life plan was really when it boiled down to, like, I'm here to help women. And yeah, that's taken on various forms throughout my life.
At like
I think
different
it changes.
stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see where he's going with this next, and I don't know. And it's not there yet. But remember when I talked last podcast about feeling worthless?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was out of it and not doing what I was supposed to do, and how that's not really worthless, but that's how it makes you feel inside.
Yeah.
And so even though I'm not directly doing whatever it is right now, I'm stepping into something. Yeah.
Even though not knowing what it is.
Yeah.
How do you work or engage in that space? Because there's got to be, I've been there, right? Where it's like, I know here's the calling. And like, I'd say I'm even there. I don't know what some of this stuff looks like. We had something that we were thinking we were going to launch, and we talked about it while we were gone. Like, let's not launch that right now. Let's just like hold off on that. Right. Yeah. And then this other thing kind of opens up. So it's, you don't necessarily know what's in front of you. You know, it's something. So how do you work in that space? What would you tell somebody that's in that space? It's like trust that God will reveal it to you.
Yeah. I think when you have a vision for what you are supposed to be doing, all you can do is obey and step into it. That's all you can do. And just take that step and start walking. And I think the things that, like, for example, you have a bunch of ideas of how certain parts of this business could work. And we're not going to do all of them just in reality. So I think the ones, like, you just step in and start walking. And the one, like, that we put off to the side for now is for now a closed door for the moment. And I think, so as you start walking in that, doors close, other ones open you might not have seen before or had a vague idea about, but now that's the thing,
So it's like,
and it's hard. It's not, that is not an easy thing.
but it's walking, paying closer attention.
Yeah. It's walking in faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way to put it, that things are going to make, themselves known as he wills it. So that's the only way to do it. And it's not easy. There's no 10-step thing or this is going to make your life super easy. Yeah. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's interesting just to be in that space. I think for me, it's not counting on all of my efforts. Mm-hmm. And it's giving that space not to let things be forced, to let things happen, to let things play out the way that they're supposed to play out.
Yeah.
And that's the best way that I can explain it. If you're a Christian business owner in Northern Colorado, check out one of our sponsors, the Foundry Advisory. The Foundry is a Christian peer-to-peer advisory network where you can plug in as a business owner, not only to talk about how to improve your business, but how to integrate your faith. Check them out at thefoundryadvisory.com. And remember, they're not only a sponsor, but I'm also a member of their group. If you have a story to share and you're thinking of becoming an author to do so, you have to connect with one of our sponsors, Scribe Media. I worked with Scribe to publish Painted Baby, and I'm currently working with them again to publish my next book, Pour Into People. Click on the link in the show notes below to connect with them, and they'll actually give you a little something extra because you came to them through me. Yeah, it's a super interesting time and dynamic where we've got, there's things in parts of the business that are no longer, we're selling one and working through that, and things are just going to look different. And we always knew what things were going to look like moving ahead, and now we don't, but we know there's a bigger calling. So it's just that faith gap in between, and just staying focused on it. And we were talking a lot about the easy road and the hard road, all the BS that we've been in for the past 3-4 months. It's it would be easier just to go this route or back to this way, but it's not supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got to lean in more to those challenges and those things that are going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trust fall, basically.
We should start doing those at Coffee Bar. You come to one of those?
That's a great idea.
When are you going to host a podcast episode?
I should have known that.
Did you see what I did there, Joey?
That was sneaky.
It's a good segue.
I don't know. Next subject.
You would do awesome.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I will.
You interview some gals.
Some ladies.
Who would we interview? Who'd be good guests? You've talked to a couple. We've got a list.
Yeah, we have a list.
Let's invite them right now. I've got a few in mind, though. No, I've got a few in mind.
You do.
Who are your few in mind that you would talk to?
You've told me you would like me to interview Alyssa Wells. And we talked to her.
Don't you think that would be an awesome one, Joey?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be.
Talk to her about that. She's up for it.
That would be super good. Yeah, that would be super good.
Well, then we'll need to break off and start a ladies podcast. So it's just one more thing.
It could just be the Emily hour. You could drop in
Emily
once a month or every other. Oh, you're not doing that thing from, oh, never mind. I thought you were bringing something up that.
What? No.
Yeah, you could drop in once every couple months, hit an episode.
There you go. Maybe we'll put it on a maybe pile.
That's in your maybe still. Does that make you nervous or pushed?
Pushed.
Does it really?
Yeah.
By me?
Yes.
I'm encouraging you.
Okay.
Does it feel like push though? No, because I'm really not trying to push.
No, I know. I think you're excited about it, and that is encouraging because that.
Do you just
means
know
you have faith in me?
You'll outshine me.
Yes.
I'm worried
about
drop my rating.
Saying your sunshine. No. Yeah. I don't want to fail at it, you know? So there's that. A fear of trying that always comes with something new.
Yeah. But you've been on like this side of the table.
I have.
It's a different side. This is a different side of the table to be on. I remember when I was doing the first episodes, I was like, man, I'm not talking as much. And Joey's like, well, you got to let the guest talk. You're not the guest. You're the host. It's like, shut up. Do you remember those, Joey? I was like, I would get to the end and I'm like, hosting's different.
Absolutely.
Than guesting.
I think, the fun thing about this is that you could bring on somebody and interview them. And if you don't like it, we don't have to post it.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm. Remember that one we
You're
did?
fully in control.
That's right.
I think you should do it. I think you should give it a try. And then, if you feel like if you didn't like it, then we won't post it. But like this is just getting reps. That's all it is.
Yeah. There you go. No, I remember your first podcast too. I told you talked a lot.
The one when I interviewed Rick.
When you interviewed
for the first time.
I don't remember Rick
Scatton was the first guest.
Yeah. But no, I remember telling you like you talked a lot. You interrupted a lot. But that was just because it was your first time doing, and I think you're a phenomenal podcast host. I tell people all the time about this podcast, and I'm like, I know I'm partial to this guy, but I would listen to this podcast if you weren't my husband.
If you weren't sleeping with me.
Yeah. You cannot say things like that.
Why not?
Barb. Grandma.
All right, edit that, Joey, for Barb.
Stop.
Do we have to?
What's up, Barb?
That's a good one.
How does Barb think the kids got here?
She knows. Stop. Stop. Anyway.
We've kept it very clean, very professional
Yes,
on
keep it that way.
all the episodes.
Keep it that way.
We don't want to. No. Okay. Sounds good. We always got to give Barb a shout out though.
Yes, Grandma.
Yeah. You got your awesome
Love you,
grandma.
How are you doing right now? We talked about me.
Yeah. With everything?
Yeah, with everything.
It was interesting. Like I've never seen or had as much just business pressure and people responding, reacting, behaving the way they have all at once.
Yeah.
But I would also say like I put it on myself. Like I led and we decided like we're drawing a line in terms of like what the businesses are doing and where they're going. So that's expected. No, and I think at first it was a lot, but then I'm just in the habit of like, all right, well here comes something else, and like I knew it was coming. And then as it was coming more and more, it's like, okay, well there's another one to deal with. I think I was getting leading into when we went on our break. Like I was getting pretty close to punching somebody in the mouth, I would say.
You were pretty burned out.
Yeah, I was getting, just
at the end of your rope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bottom line, like as a business owner, you can't let people ride on your coattails and not follow through on commitments and not do what they're supposed to be doing and then turn around and blame it on you. Like you got to get those people out of your business. And what do you think they're going to say when they leave your business? Like that's the reality here.
Yeah.
Like there's people that are no longer part of our life and part of our business, and that's a good thing. And most of it didn't surprise me the way that all went down. There's a couple things that did, but honestly, like at the end of the day, it really didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was getting pretty close to smacking somebody. So it was a good break.
Your patience was at its end. And I think that was a good way of putting it.
But it's a lot of patience.
That was a lot of patience. It's a lot of patience over a lot of time. And you just needed a break. Mm-hmm. And I think for a while of that time as well, you and I were not aligned. And we were arguing a lot because we were stressed with other stuff.
Yeah.
And so now that you and I are back on a good track, not that it was horrible. We were just not aligned. Does that make is that a good way to put that?
I think that was more at the beginning of that season.
I think so too.
We were just trying to figure it all out. And then when we did, it's like, okay, cool. Now we're good. Let's go.
But that's been helpful to have, best friend, partner, like got your back.
No, I was excited when you said you wanted to jump back in, especially in the bigger vision for Pour Into People company.
I didn't know how you would react to that. I was a little bit nervous to bring it up. So I'm glad that you were so excited.
Yeah. So what's next? Maybe a podcast episode, maybe one
episode. Yeah. We'll see.
I'd
know.
shoot for 3, see how they go.
There you go. I think that's the interesting part that we're at, that we talk about a lot together, is what is next? Like, what are we supposed to be doing? We know we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, but also what? Really, there's more, and we know it, but we don't know what it is.
I think it's being okay with that. And just letting it reveal itself.
Yeah.
Seeing where it goes.
Yeah. I actually saw a great video today that was about hiking. It was about hiking to watch a sunrise, and how you have to start in the dark, and sometimes you can't see the path. But when you get to the top, you have this incredible view. And I was like, that is a great analogy that I'm going to share on the podcast today. Because, you're blindingly walking up this mountain with just a little flashlight in the dark. And then at the top, you have the whole view of everything and the sunrise. And so we're in the stumbling up the path in the dark phase right now.
Yeah.
But we're headed towards somewhere we're supposed to head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just what is that next step? I think that's exciting.
It is.
It's scary a little bit,
It's
but
scary.
it's exciting.
It's exciting. Well, and what's cool is the people that are here that we're doing it with totally believe in it.
Yes.
Totally on board.
Yes.
Wouldn't want to do that with anybody else. Happy who we're not doing it with.
Yeah.
And let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good ride. I'm excited.
Yeah. I foresee, Joey, how does this sound? A gluten-free women's
Woohoo!
Italy tour.
Italy's incredible. So
Yes.
if you add the gluten-free component, it's just ultimate. It's the ultimate.
That's right.
I've never seen you so happy.
I was
Because
so
food's just been a pain in the butt, right? Like
Food is
whenever we
hard.
go out with that.
Yeah.
And you're not like, oh, I don't like gluten. Like you're legit
Celiac. Yeah.
legit allergic.
You're not like one of those people that's like, can I get the gluten-free bread? And then you order a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not prep. Like it is legit.
It's legit.
So it's not an allergy, like people say. It's an autoimmune response. But they call it an allergy. So we just go with it. It's an allergy, sure. Whatever.
Maybe you do that. That might be cool.
That might be cool. And as you know from eating gluten-free with me in Italy, it is really good.
Yeah.
Like you would never, ever know. If somebody dropped that pizza or bread on a table, you would never know.
That it wasn't.
That it didn't have gluten in it.
Italy's gluten-free stuff was awesome.
Yes.
It was way better than Spain's, I think.
Oh, for sure. 100%. But I was just happy they had stuff in Spain. So I was excited about it.
We had a pretty not good gluten-free pizza that night.
We did.
At that restaurant that we went to the same restaurant like every night, Sevilla, for dinner.
Yes, that was fun. We got to know the wait staff, and that was really fun.
Yep.
And their food was really good.
Minus that pizza.
Uh-huh.
And you got panna cotta every night without asking or paying for it.
I did.
And shots.
Which we also did not ask or pay for. The server there really decided he liked Matt because of his tattoo. Should show it
I've seen this.
for the YouTube people. Yeah. And that is a tower in Sevilla. So
That's the tower. In
the
Sevilla.
tower.
La
in
Giralda.
Sevilla. Yes. So everybody really likes that there.
That gets us like front of the line, free drinks.
Front of the line, apparently
Couple
free
photos.
drinks, free dessert at this one restaurant. It was great. We had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Let's do it again.
Tomorrow. But we have said that Italy is our place.
I really liked it there. Yeah. That was
like
that
Spain
was a fun.
is your heart place. And then Italy is our place. Joey, would you say Italy is your and Erica place?
I gotta say, yeah. I mean, Italy and Ireland.
Ooh.
Ireland is incredible, but Italy is just like just so great.
There's something about it, huh?
There's a vibe.
Yeah.
There's definitely a vibe.
Yeah. Ireland.
We haven't been there.
Next on the list, maybe.
We could go. Let's do it.
Okay.
It's so awesome.
Next week. Is that what you said?
Did I say next week? Maybe I did.
don't know,
Maybe that
maybe.
slipped out. I don't know. Did I say next week? Let's go.
If you said that, that would be fun.
No, I love Spain. I love Spain. There's
Yes.
certain frustrations though, because every time I go over there, I'm like, we should sell everything and move over here, and then we'll be there about a week, right? A little over a week. And what was it that really pissed me off last time?
I don't know.
I was calling to check on those reservations. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
The guy's like, I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
Just random stuff like that. Zero customer service or
Yeah.
dumb, senseless rules.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we'll just visit. Come home.
I'm sure everywhere has its stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are everywhere.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Oh, we almost forgot. I met huevos fritos con
Your
papas.
hero.
My hero
Your hero.
over there. What did you think of that?
He was a character.
Yeah.
Character. Tell everybody who he is.
There's a guy in Sevilla. He's a retired guy. He's got a really interesting story, and he literally hunts pickpockets through the city of Sevilla. So he goes on patrol. So this guy has a Facebook. How many people? It's like 170,000 people follow him on Facebook, and he literally starts in the Plaza de España and just scopes out. And these pickpockets have gotten pretty good at what they do. So they'll dress up and disguise themselves as tourists. 10, 15 years ago, right? Like you go over there, okay, like stay away from them.
Yeah.
They're going to pickpocket you. But now it looks like two little old ladies dressed up,
Yeah,
and they're
wigs
they're
Yeah.
like wigged out, dressed out. I mean, everything. And they will just they'll swipe all your stuff.
Yeah.
And, I've seen the guy's videos, but we actually met him and talked to him, and interesting dude. But he's like, yeah, I start in the plaza 7:30 and I hunt these scoundrels, these dirty scoundrels. And that's the way he's referring to them, because nobody likes him there. Nobody wants him there. And he waits right till they're about to do it and pulls a whistle out of his pocket, screams, pickpocket. And then he chases him down and screams at him and curses at him, get the F out of space. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I think he's almost been stabbed and like somebody, pray for that guy, man. Cause he's
seriously.
That's probably very, very high odds that somebody's just going to stab that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a character.
But he introduces himself as fried eggs and potatoes. I walked up to him and said, fried eggs and potatoes. And told me a story.
He is a character.
Yeah. So good job. Huevo frito con papas. Encantado conocerte. That was fun. But that was cool. That was a cool experience.
Yeah. That was really, yeah.
He's a legend. He's like Batman. He's like the Batman of Sevilla.
There you go.
Wouldn't you say?
Sure.
Yeah. Just without a car.
Sure.
Just on a stroll. Just
on
strolling
a
around with his
stroll.
whistle and his
That's
camera. Oh man, we're wrapping up.
Are we already?
Another episode. I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
It's about that time.
It's about that time.
We're wrapping up same way though.
Oh, what is that? I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, are you serious?
Okay.
What you got?
All right. My quote this time is, without Jesus, I can do nothing. Now, this is quoted by Charles Spurgeon, but I'm sure everybody says that. So I think I've said that a lot myself. So
Emily Shoup.
that is it.
That's a wrap.
I love you.
Love you too. If you're a business owner looking to improve your life, leadership, faith, family, and business, I've got a couple of free things that I'd love to share with you. So go to mattshoup.com and download my free tools. I guarantee these couple of things will get you started off in the right direction. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, drop a comment below. Make sure to watch the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe.